I hate the homies.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode, vainglorious episode of I Hate the Homies. And I'm glad y'all do love the haters. Episode number 126, Rock Teasy is who I be.
I'm not even finna strain my voice and pretend to be GRIFF. He's not in today, but I'm here. It's your boy Super Dave, but guess what, y'all?
We don't care.
We don't care.
But we do care about the homie GRIFF. He's a little bit under the weather this week, so y'all continue to keep the big bear in your prayers. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Don't try to go past that part. Yesterday he sent you a video, he sent you a picture of him with an oxygen mask on at the hospital, right?
Yeah.
Looking like Bane from The Dark Knight Rises.
I ain't even gonna go there, dog. I ain't
He
gonna
did.
go there, dog.
You know, you were laughing. He did.
Now, look, it's like, you know, GRIFF is a little bit under the weather. And if you know GRIFF, he's always, he likes to give you details of everything that's happening. And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because, listen, when anything that's associated with being sick, going to the hospital, it's like, come on, man, you know, all jokes aside, you know, I think you got tickled because it was GRIFF with an oxygen mask
But you even laughed at the beginning when you saw that picture looking like Bane. He did look like Bane from The Dark Knight.
Hey, look, we praying for our brother. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not down in what's going on with him. We're still
I ain't going down that street with you, dog. I ain't going down that street. GRIFF, listen, we praying for you, man. We happy that you feeling a little bit better today than you was yesterday. So it is what it is, man. We're gonna keep the train rolling. We all homies. We're gonna keep this thing going, Pippin.
When I saw the picture, I know we're gonna move on, but when I saw the picture, I just thought about The Dark Knight. It came on last night, Dark Knight Rises, and all I remember, I can hear GRIFF saying, "Oh yeah, I was wondering what leave first, your spirit or your body."
Say, man, Super Dave is the darkest human of
y'all would dog me out too. Y'all would dog me out if I wasn't here too. Don't act like, especially you.
No, man. Listen, it's jokes. Jokes. There's a fine line of cracking jokes on people when they're not feeling well. You know what I'm saying? That's where I draw my line. Now you're a whole nother animal or species, dog. You just
so if I'm in a hospital, you wouldn't say, could they actually find a bed for Super Dave to lay in? You wouldn't say anything like that. Huh? Maybe. You wouldn't do that? Why are you laughing?
Maybe. No, it would all the jokes would come after we know that you're fine, you're doing well. Right. You know what I'm saying? After that's confirmed, okay, now we can get back to the jokey joke. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, this is our Super Bowl recap episode. We also gonna give you our opinions about the Luka, Doncic, and Anthony Davis trade, Mavericks and Lakers. It ain't no secret by now, but we gonna get more detailed about that situation. Kendrick Lamar halftime performance, commercials in the Super Bowl. So these are topics that will never get old for a while. We're gonna be talking about the Super Bowl. We're gonna be talking about Luka. We're gonna be talking about Anthony Davis. This is probably gonna be going on all the way throughout the rest of the season because everybody wants to know who won. Did the Lakers get the better end of the deal? Did the Mavericks get the better end of the deal? All that good stuff. So we finna get it popping right now. Episode number 126. Ray Duggar, let's get it going.
I hate the homies.
All right, so let's start with Super Bowl recap. Philadelphia Eagles won their second Super Bowl. Second in what? 4 years or 5 years?
About 4 years.
Yeah, so
4 years, and the Cowboys ain't won nothing in 30 years. Oh,
that's a doggone shame, man. It is what it is. So let's get into it, man. So first of all, congratulations to Jalen Hurts. Let me be the first to say this about Jalen Hurts. I'm one of those critics that have always rooted for Jalen Hurts because I like Jalen, man. He's a good dude, humble guy. He always stays he's never too high, he's never too low. He just always stays focused and stoic in the middle. But when he got to the NFL, even after he won his first Super Bowl, I mean, he didn't know because they lost wait a minute. When he made it to the Super Bowl the last time, they lost to the Chiefs, of course.
But he had a great game.
He had a great game. He had a great season that year, all that. But even when he got to the Super Bowl a couple years ago, I was still not all the way convinced about him being an elite quarterback in the league for an entire career. Then This season, if you go back and watch my Rock T NFL picks of the week by week, I picked the Eagles a couple of times throughout the season, but most of the time, I still wasn't all the way convinced. I was like waiting for the downfall of like not really rooting against Jalen Hurts, but I wasn't all the way convinced of him being an elite quarterback in this league. So I'm going to be the first to tell you, I was wrong, bro. Listen, he's the quarterback of the Eagles. You can say whatever you want to say. He led his team to the Super Bowl and won it against a dynasty who we all thought was almost unbeatable. So to Jalen Hurts, this is Rock T saying, if I'm right about something, I'm going to talk about it and tell you I was right. If I was wrong, I'm going to humble myself and tell you I was wrong. So Jalen Hurts, my brother, hey, man, kudos to you. You've earned my respect, and you are considered an elite quarterback in the NFL. And sometimes it's not all about stats. Sometimes it's not all about throwing for 4,000 yards and throwing for 50 touchdowns a year and all that kind of good stuff. On this particular team, on this Eagles team, this system is working for Jalen Hurts. So I just want to get that off my chest and say that. What you got?
I think the surprising part is because we're going into this game, we all thought for sure. And once your Detroit Lions got knocked out, you jumped on the Kansas City bandwagon. And when you saw a team that won 17 games straight, 17 games dating back to last season, 17 games straight, where it was a one-score game, who are you going to pull for? I mean, we can sit up here and say, well, they play some close games, but they find a way to win. I'm talking about the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
We all thought if anybody could do that three-peat and have that make three-peat history, it was going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. The Cowboys tried. The 49ers tried. Who else tried?
Pittsburgh, right? Didn't Pittsburgh win back-to-back in the 70s?
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 teams that tried to, but they never got to the Super Bowl. So this is the first time a team actually made the Super Bowl trying to get that three-peat.
Yeah.
They were loaded.
I mean, Green Bay did it early on before NFL was like the NFL. Yeah.
But when you look at this team, I didn't think that was going to happen. Not the way it happened. You sit there and watch that game from beginning to the end. You did not think Patrick Mahomes. They made Patrick Mahomes. That defensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles made Patrick Mahomes look like he was at Texas Tech.
Yeah, come on, man. It looked like he was in
He looked like the guy that was in NFL that's won all these Super Bowls. He looked like the guy that was in college. He was running around with his head on a swivel because he was getting hit.
Nah, he looked like he was on a JV high school football team. Like, and they didn't even have to blitz. They didn't blitz one time. That's the amazing thing about this. There wasn't no special come around the end fake blitz. But I mean, it was those 4 up front, and they dominated the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line.
And Kansas City had the perfect game plan because I think we all knew if you're going to have to stop somebody, he's going to stop Saquon Barkley, and he's going to make Jalen Hurts beat you. And I thought they did a solid job stopping Saquon Barkley. What the hell, they had 57 yards in this game?
That's the only positive thing. That's the only positive thing.
They contained him, but I think the other problem was for me on the offensive side for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I like Andy Reid, but I never thought he would get out-coached by Nick Sirianni, and he did.
Yeah, he did, man.
What was the first three drives or the first 3 series in this game?
They got 12 yards, I think. Like a total of 12 yards when in the first 3 drives. Look,
but you didn't run the ball, Rock. That's the problem. They never ran the ball. When you know you're getting that kind of pressure, you got to make that defense think.
True. Now, here's why they didn't. Here's why Andy Reid did not continue to run the ball, even though you got to establish your running game. Because they're the Kansas City Chiefs, bro. It's Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, the new version of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. It's like sometimes you can smell your own stuff and think that you don't stink. Sometimes you can be like, oh, man, we're going to win this game with our eyes closed. We got this. We're going to keep doing what we've been doing. It's just a matter of time for Magic Mahomes to do what he does. And I really believe that they came into that thinking that, and they got popped in the mouth hard in the first round. It was like, yo, when they got up off the canvas, like in a boxing match, you discombobulated. You ain't got time to the bell ain't rang to kind of get back to your corner so you can kind of get your mind back together. You got popped within the first 10 seconds of the first round of the boxing match, and you just never could recover.
But
And that's what happened.
But who is that on? That's on coaching. I don't care if we have the first 15 plays scripted. At some point, when you saw in that first drive that how they were coming after Patrick Mahomes, you know it's going to be a long day for your offensive line. What's the only thing that can settle that defensive line from attacking the quarterback?
Running game and screens.
And I ain't saying go out and get 15 yards here, 15 yards there. But the point is attempting to run the ball.
Or screens.
Those are the two things. They never did that. And when they finally did it, even Tom Brady said, who's doing the broadcast, as far as you got to establish some kind of run, because he was just Patrick Mahomes sitting back there like a sitting duck.
Now let's talk
coming after him.
Now let's also talk about the dropped passes. I think Kelsey had one. I think B-Hop had one.
But that one, I know what you're talking about, the one that Kelsey had when they were back at their 10-yard line.
The first one. The second one was just a bad pass.
Okay,
I don't consider that a drop. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was like 2 or 3 drop passes early on within their first 3 or 4 drives.
Yeah, Hopkins had a drop
pass.
Yeah,
that probably would have went for about 60 yards, like because he was crossing the field. He catch that ball and stay on his feet. Oh, he rolling. Yeah. So little things like that flip flops the game and the momentum. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that would have got them on track to still win the game, but you never know. That could have led to a score. And that changes how Philadelphia plays their defense the next time they come out there. So, you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, sometimes you're just a flat out better than your opponent. And Philadelphia was flat out better than Kansas City on that particular day. And it is what it is.
23 yards in the first half for the Kansas City Chiefs. 1 first down. They got that 1 first down on that first drive.
Yeah.
And they didn't cross the 50-yard line till late in the third quarter.
Yep.
And nobody could even I don't care who you think you are. You cannot tell me you saw this coming. I said if Philly was going to win, they had to blow them out.
Yeah. It couldn't be close. It couldn't be close. But here's the deal. I don't know about you, but even while all that was happening, it took to the fourth quarter for me to finally give in and say,
I agree.
Yeah, Philly gonna win, because you always okay. Wait a minute, this is Mahomes. This is just a matter of time for that Kansas City Magic to click in. And the first 3 quarters, I was surprised, but I still wasn't like all the way shook. Like I was like, man, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Until the fourth quarter hit, I was like, oh man, you know what? It's done.
Okay, I was done in the third. I just thought maybe in that second quarter when they were down 17-0, they got the ball back right before they go into the half.
Mm-hmm.
They go score, even get a field goal. Get a field goal at 17-3. You get the ball back in the second half, move the ball, make it 17-10. But when he threw that interception, and it was a bad interception he threw inside the red zone for the Philadelphia Eagles, you cannot make that kind of mistake. They gave the Philadelphia Eagles that ball there. He had a route for A.J. Brown, skimmed in the end zone. Now it's 24-0. Even then, I had a doubt, because I said if Tom Brady can do it, this is where Patrick Mahomes can put himself back in the GOAT conversation. To me, he's not even in the GOAT conversation. But the people that want to put him there, you come back and win a game like this, like Tom Brady did against the Atlanta Falcons, then that puts you up there with the status of being with Tom Brady. But for now, we can hold off on Patrick Mahomes being in that GOAT conversation. I held up on it a long time ago, but people still want to bring it up.
Well, he's won how many Super Bowls?
3.
Even though he's young and he's still got a lot of football left, you're right. You know, he's definitely not the GOAT. Of course, we know that Tom Brady is going to be the GOAT and probably will always be the GOAT.
Yeah.
But he won 3 Super Bowls, son. And there's quarterbacks that are considered some of the greatest that only won 1 or 2. And it took them a longer career to get those. Like, you know, it's like you can't dismiss his greatness now because they got blown out in the Super Bowl. He's won 3 and is he even 30 yet? How old is Patrick?
He's not 30 yet.
He ain't even 30 yet, bro. So, I mean, come on, man. For him to do what he's done, especially last year's Super Bowl and this season without a whole lot of super help. Like, you had Tyreek Hill, you had even Travis Kelce in his prime. He's not the same. He's just a shell of himself right now. So,
They made him look old.
Oh man, he is, and he's even said, man, I don't know if I can come back and do another run, but we're gonna find out. But I don't know, man.
They made him look old. They made the Kansas City Chiefs look old. Period.
Yeah,
that team that looked good last season, they made them look old this season. In that game.
As long as you have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they're gonna always have a successful regular season and make a run in the playoffs. Now, will they get any more Super Bowls? Hey, only time will tell. So,
but don't you think some of that magic of being invincible is gone now?
Oh yeah, they proved that. Okay, they're human, bro. This dude is human. Even though he's great, he's human, and we're gonna find out his weakness.
I think the NFC teams know that. I think the two teams that really need to figure it out and go, yeah, we can do what Philadelphia did. Baltimore Ravens, because they got a quarterback, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills. Their time is running out.
Yeah, so, I think the whole Buffalo Bills situation is mental. Even though Josh plays well against Kansas City,
it's a mental thing. Yes,
as a team, it's a mental thing, man. It's like you right there. Like I personally think Buffalo's a better team than Kansas City. Like even though Kansas City finds ways to beat them because they've won the last three times they played each other, whatever. Like
in the playoffs, they can beat them in the regular season. They can't beat them in the
playoffs. It's a mental thing, man. But let's give Philadelphia their props. Is Philadelphia, they've gotten to the Super Bowl 2 out of the last 3 years, right? 2 out of the last 3 years. Are they the new? Well, first of all, is Kansas City considered a dynasty? This Kansas City Chiefs team are they considered a dynasty? Because people think of this as certain, when I think of dynasty, I think, okay, how many Super Bowls have they won within a 10-year span? And it's like
what they did with this team. Yeah,
they've won 3 in what, 7 years?
Yeah,
they won 3 in 7 years. You probably have to consider that a dynasty. Now, if they win no more, they
go down as one of the teams like the Cowboys, that 92 team. They won 3.
They won 3, and they're within a 10-year span as well. So I think you have to consider them as a dynasty. Now, can Philadelphia do it? Do you think that Philadelphia is who they are?
I think they played a perfect game. I think they got a hell of a defensive line, but it's also the same team I saw struggle against the St. Louis. Man, I said the St. Louis. What are they? The Rams. I was gonna say the LA Rams, St. Louis Rams.
St. Louis dogs, the Rams, baby.
But the Rams, just a couple of weeks before that, they struggled against them in the snow. Remember, they were one play away from winning that game against the Philadelphia because they didn't get it done. But I'm just saying, it can happen. I think the league is even. I think it's parity across the board. I think now, to me, I thought Detroit would have gave Philadelphia a better game. And I don't think Philadelphia would have made the Super Bowl this year because Detroit has a running game when they want to use it. You know that.
Man, let me tell you something. If the Detroit defense was healthy, we're in this Super Bowl. Period. And I'm just gonna say it. This is not super fan Rock T talking. We had 8 players injured. You know what I'm saying? And we found a way to still have a strong run. But if we healthy on both sides of the ball,
but y'all didn't lose. But y'all didn't lose it because of the defense. Y'all lost it because of what?
Defense.
No, Jared Goff turned the ball over.
But we couldn't stop. We couldn't stop our opponent.
That's fine.
But finally caught up to us.
But I'm saying still, he turned the ball over. You don't turn the ball over.
Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions in the game this season, and we won the game.
The Houston Texans in the regular season.
Last year we were talking about the Houston Texans being one of the best teams that's up and coming. So we can't dismiss who that happened against. It's still an NFL team who's a very strong team.
I just want you to admit if y'all would have ran the ball against Washington, y'all would have won the game.
Yeah, we could have ran the ball a lot more because they had no answer for Jahmyr Gibbs. None.
And that's all I wanted you to say. That's it. That's what I said.
It is. And we should have won the game. But if we had our full blown healthy defense, it wouldn't even been close.
I think I said it to you when Hutchinson got hurt against the Cowboys. I said that's going to change our entire team. You still believe that's fine, but then he dropped. But you had guys dropping after that on defense.
Man, we had a lot of 8 players hurt.
Okay, then it's hard to win. But I think if you would have ran the ball against Washington, y'all would have won the game. But
I agree.
I don't think Philly is a dynasty yet. We'll see next season. I mean, they got their 2 right now. No, they got one with Nick Foles. They got one with Nick Foles, and they got one with Jalen Hurts.
Right. So yeah, they're far from that. We can't even put
that, but they're a young team, and I'm a Cowboy fan, and that's what we got to deal with now. We've had to deal with them the last 10, 15 years. I just hate them so much because they hate us. Well, they hate the Cowboys.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I like what Washington is doing. I think Washington is more of a threat than Philly. Like for real. Even though Philly beat Washington, I think Washington is more of a threat like in the future than Philly would be. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna see what happens, man. Let's get into the Luka Anthony Davis trade that shocked the world.
Let's talk about the other things too. The halftime performance.
Okay, yeah, we can get into. Okay, my bad.
Performance and the commercials.
Kendrick Lamar. There's really nothing else to say, but let's get into it. All right, so I loved it, and let me put this out there. There were a lot of people that loved the Kendrick Lamar performance. There was a lot of people that didn't like it because they were waiting for the bells and whistles. And Kendrick Lamar is not Michael Jackson. He's not Beyonce. He's not the bells and whistles and fire and flames and, all the huge, that's not him. Kendrick Lamar is a core hip hop artist that's give me the microphone. I'm surprised he had people on stage with him dancing. But, of course, it's the Super Bowl. You got to have something. But he's like, give me the mic. He's Rakim. Give me the mic, turn the beat on, and I'm finna spit. That's Kendrick Lamar. And if you know that and you understand that, his messaging it was an amazing show. I loved it, man. I mean, everybody kept waiting for, okay, is Lil Wayne gonna come out? Is he gonna bring Master P out? Is he gonna bring somebody else out? I know SZA came out and everything was cool, but it was like, is it more? Is it more? They kept waiting for like the big bang. And listen, that's not Kendrick Lamar. So get that in your head for everybody that didn't like it and thought it was boring. It was brilliant, if you ask me.
I thought it was okay as I'm watching it, but then after you go back and look at it the day after, and you start seeing what you just said a few minutes ago, it was about a message. Donald Trump was at the Super Bowl. And he didn't say for the whole thing, of course not. But I think he was taking shots at what America is right now. I mean, you saw the flag and how he put the flag as being divided. You had Samuel Jackson being the Black Uncle Sam, which I thought was brilliant.
Brilliant. Another message.
It's the message, yeah. So after going back and looking at it, yeah, it was good. I'm not going to say great, even though people say right now, when you look at the numbers, this was the most watched halftime ever.
Yep.
We're talking about seeing Prince,
Michael Jackson.
He beat Michael Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Michael Jackson like 133.4. And for this Super Bowl was 133.5 for the halftime performance.
Man, people are still rewatching that performance on YouTube. I think they put that thing on YouTube in less than 24 hours. It had 30 million views. And it's still, from now, it's way past that. So, look, man, it's there. I'm glad that he's having the success he's having this year because he represents a part of hip hop that there's a reason why hip hop has gotten to where it is right now. Of course, the cool thing about the culture is, listen, it's okay to have different styles and different, versions within the genre. But his style of hip hop takes you back to why it got popular way back in the late 70s. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, man. Just give me the mic. Let's spit. It's poetry at its finest. He's saying he's got a message in everything that he talks about. It's not just all about the cars and the rims and the money and the fame and all that. That's in there just a little bit. It's about the message, man. So I loved it, man. I had a great time watching. I really enjoyed that.
I mean, he had the message. Like I said, it took me the day after to really understand and really start going, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. But I think I'm part of that group that thought you was going to see the bells and whistles. I mean, I'm looking at what I've seen. Prince is always gonna be my favorite when he performed.
Of course, oh yeah, you had
because who else can make the rain come down while he's singing Purple Rain? You remember that?
Yeah, dog. But was the rain purple?
The rain was purple. It doesn't matter.
That would have been dope, though. The rain would have been
dope. But he can't control that part. But the rain's still coming down, and you still perform. like I said, I'm not gonna take anything away from him. I thought the commercials this year were. I thought they were horrible. I didn't like the commercials.
There's only a couple, man. The Dunkin's commercial with Ben Affleck, that was good. That was dope. Man, I got to go back and I got to remember now. There was one other one that caught my eye that I kind of chuckled. Man, I can't even remember now. But yeah, overall, it wasn't like it's been in the past. Like you sit there, like back to back.
Yes, you used to want to sit there and watch the commercials. Just like you did back in the day, we used to do it for the Grammys, because Grammys would have new commercials. Also, like American Music Award, but definitely the Grammys, and then even for the Super Bowl. But this year, I was not impressed. I know you said the Dunkin' Donut, but I wasn't even impressed with that. I would say, okay,
that was funny, man. You know what was a cool commercial is your boy that play what's his name? Golly, he's Raiders of the Lost Ark. What's that dude's name?
Oh, Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, the Jeep commercial. That was kind of cool because Jeeps are cool cars, but they finally morphed into the EV model. So they released the electric version of the Jeep. But he made it the way they built it up. It was almost like, oh, is this gonna be a new movie that he got coming out? Are they teasing a new movie? So I'm thinking, okay, Harrison Ford, he don't miss too many times. And then it was the Jeep. I'm like, okay, that was kind of dope. You drew me in, Harrison. You drew me in.
He is in a new movie coming out. He's in that new Captain America.
He's the villain. He's the villain, the Red Hulk.
The Red Hulk, exactly.
Yes, sir. I gotta get to the movie and watch that one. That's on the list.
I'm a big Harrison Ford fan because
yes, sir.
I like Han Solo from Star Wars.
Oh, you went back to the original Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I like him. I like him in Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger, all those movies. I just like Harrison Ford, period. And in 42.
Yeah, 42 was dope.
Yeah,
42,
I like him in 42 too. So
yes, indeed. So it was. Super Bowl was great because of the outcome. Nobody was expecting that. Halftime show was dope. Next year, expect the halftime show to be someone probably on the pop or the rock side or country side, just to kind of, they kind of balance things out. And then, of course, the commercials, I give a thumbs up and a third thumbs down on that one.
I think the sad part is football is over. Football is over now.
But you know what? Yes, that's sad. But this is also when basketball starts getting exciting.
Basketball doesn't get exciting until April.
Not necessarily in NBA. I'm talking about college basketball. Because we're getting close to March Madness. Okay. And this is where it starts. And it's more exciting now because the women's game is just as exciting as the men's game in college now. So now it was like all about the men, and then the women were over here doing their thing too. But now, shoot, man. And I'm real close to it because of my daughter. So March Madness is about to be bananas this year. And then by the time March Madness is over, we're getting ready to get into the final stretch of the NBA season, get into the playoffs. So that's when NBA starts getting real competitive as they get close to that thing. So, this is the time of year where sports starts kind of going downhill right after NBA finals. And it's that big old open gap of like, okay, now what? But we're going to see what happens, man. But speaking of NBA, let's get into the Luka AD trade. So we can finish, maybe put the explanation point on that doggone trade that still got everybody crazy. We'll talk about that next. All right, so I don't know what you was doing at the time that you seen that Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic's trade went through somewhere around close to midnight.
I was going to say it was like a couple of Saturdays ago.
Oh, man. So my phone just started blowing up. I'm like, man, what's going on? And it was just AD, Luka, Mavs, Lakers. It was just a whole bunch of that, and it's like traded. So my first initial reaction was like, man, who playing on the internet?
Exactly. Okay.
So I literally put my phone down.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of kept blowing up. Then text messages come. Like, keep in mind, it's close to midnight. Yeah. Everybody sleep, supposed to be asleep. I'm like, man, what's going on? And then I started digging a little bit closer. I said, man, I told my wife, I said, babe, I think the Mavericks traded Luka for Anthony Davis with the Lakers. And she half sleep. She's like, man, get out of here. I'm like, look. And she picked her phone up. Same thing. It's like, wow, this obviously is real. I turned the TV on and now it's everywhere, all on every channel that you popping on, even non-sports channels. I said, oh my goodness. So that was my reaction. What was you doing? Did you get it at the immediate time, or was it the next morning when you woke up?
My phone went off like at 11 something, like it by 11:04, and I saw it and I raised it up. I mean, I was laying down, I was knocked out. I took a nap, and then I woke up. I looked at it, I was like, okay, people playing on the internet. I ain't got time for this. So then the next morning, I went to the gym at 5 a.m. and then I scrolled over with my for headlines, and I saw Luka traded for AD. I said, people are going too far now to get the news involved. I mean, they got to get their facts down. Start reading the story. Boy, I said, wait a minute. Luka,
dog,
a generational player for AD, and really that's and Christie, Max, who is it?
Now he's a really good role player.
Him.
He's a really good role player.
Yeah.
So my thing is this, man. Who got the best? And on the Lakers side, come on, man. You talking about Luka teaming up with LeBron. LeBron is still playing on a very high level. I know he's 40 years old, but he's still playing on a high level. So then you got Reeves. They got a nice little team. So the Lakers didn't do this. You know what I'm saying? I think they went up maybe a little bit. I think Luka's going to be a really good fit over there, having that mentorship with LeBron and so on and so forth. But I think the Mavericks may have got the better deal. Here's the deal. Here's the X factor, though.
I can't believe.
Can AD stay healthy? Because if AD can't stay healthy, it's not going to work, of course, because he's not going to be on the court. But if for some reason he can take a magical pill to put inside his body to heal his body from the inside out and turn him from glass into steel, I think the Mavericks got the best deal, because he's the best defender. When he's healthy, he's one of the best defenders in the league, especially in the paint.
And they give you 25 and 12.
Easy. In my opinion, he can play his normal position, the 4, because the Mavericks got Lively, who when he gets healthy, them two at the 4 and 5 is going to be sick. It's going to be sick. And they got one of the biggest, deepest benches in the league with Kyrie running the show. Man, let me tell you something. If AD can stay healthy, Mavericks can win the title this year, like for real.
People are going crazy in Dallas because I think we all know he's a generational player. I'm with you. I like the trade because of what. Now, if we're going to believe what the Mavericks are saying, the reason why they got rid of him. Now, I would have did it so cheap. I mean, yeah, you got AD, but I would have asked for a couple more players, really a couple more players and a draft pick. You get a generational player. Really, you're giving him away. Because the age range, you're talking about 25 years old, and AD is what, 32?
31.
31, yeah. That's still a big difference. You don't know how much more you're going to get out of AD over the next 3 or 4 years. Now, if the Mavericks win, because they are built with AD now, if he can stay, the big question, if he can stay healthy, they can win now. Because they were beating Oklahoma in the West when Luka was hurt.
Yeah.
With the guys they already had out there.
They was winning games without Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah, exactly. But now you have Kyrie, but now you have an AD that can play the 4. They can be a defensive presence in the middle, when was the last time the Mavericks really had a defensive presence in the middle? Exactly. This is why a guy that can guarantee you when he's healthy. Yeah. I gotta always stress that last part because we know he's street clothes. It can happen at any time.
Man,
that's the problem. He can give you 25 and 12.
And he gave you a snapshot of that in the first half in his debut, his Maverick debut, and then he goes down. No contact. I think he pulled his groin or something, and he's injured again. It's like, golly. So, look, here's my deal. If it's me, if I'm the Mavericks, I'm like, okay, we finna have NBA All-Star. AD, you just chill. Go get healthy. We're good enough right now where we're going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying wait to the playoffs and miss the whole second half of the season, but I'm sitting him down probably for a good month. 3 weeks at least. 3 weeks, then let's go reevaluate. Even if you can play in 2 weeks, nah, man, just get all the way 100% healthy, because if you keep coming back and then you keep getting hurt, and now when it's time to get to the playoffs, you ain't going to be healthy and you ain't going to be ready to go. So that's me if I'm the Mavericks. Just take your time. I know we're going to take the heat from all the fans. I know everybody's not going to like us.
They taking some heat too.
They had to kick fans out of the stadium, out of the arena. because
see,
which is garbage. Like, come on, man. Let the
I mean,
fans.
there's that. Like you had one fan the other night said, I mean, the camera panned to him, and they quickly moved away from him when he said fire Nico.
Man,
Which
so what?
which they better take a page from Jerry Jones. You don't do that to your customers. Now, if somebody's working for you, like the Mavericks, who's on the Mavericks broadcast team or in that arena, yeah, you got to be on board with whatever Nico said. But as far as a fan, they should be able to voice their displeasure on what happened. There's no problem with that. You can't be too sensitive. Even if they do, if you believe in what you did, it doesn't matter what they think.
That's it, man. Let a fan be a fan. Of course, man. Luka, like you say, he's a generational player. He was the next Dirk Nowitzki for the Mavs, man. And you traded him away. No disrespect to AD, but of course the fans are gonna be disgruntled and frustrated and mad. So, I mean, you escort now. If the fan is being belligerent during the game, that's different.
Death threats.
That stuff that's different. But just the signs and an occasional boo because they were booing all the executive staff that was sitting on the front row there. Listen, let them get all that stuff out so we can eventually move past it and get going and keep moving with it.
But how bad was it for Luka and the Mavericks? Because now you're just hearing from really their side on what they're saying, because he had a chance to get the Supermax during the offseason.
Right.
Which would have put him at what, 340? Oh my God. $345 million.
All day. He earned every cent.
$345 million.
Earned every cent.
Now he won't get that. Because you can't get that with the Lakers. The only team you really could have got that, you're gonna get your money down the line.
Right.
This coming up summer, you would have got $345 million.
Yeah. They'll work. They're the Lakers. They're LA. They're a big market. So they're gonna find an extension, bonuses that they can amend. Amend to his current contract or whatever. And then of course the big dog is coming next. But
I understand from their point of view. I'm like I said, I'm not in their practices. I'm not part of the team. But the whole thing is, I don't go by what they tell me. He was getting heavy. They wanted him to work out. He was doing things that a 25-year-old and not taking the game really, even though he was still putting up points when he's playing. But now this year he's been injured a lot. Mm-hmm. And that's what their concern was. And if they wanted a guy like Kobe, MJ, or even LeBron, that if you're going to pay that kind of money to a person,
take care of your body.
Be dedicated. I want you to be dedicated.
Yeah. No,
take care of your body.
Absolutely true. I'm right there with you. But I'll take a chunky Luka the way he.
I mean, that same chunky Luka got you to the NBA
got
finals.
You to the finals. I'll take that chunky Luka, doggone it. That's why I think it was more than just that.
Oh yeah, I think
it was more than just that. I mean, they want to build that casino. There's so much other politics that's
I think they were fed up, Rock. They were fed up with something we don't know about.
Absolutely, that part
eventually will come out down the line, but right now it's not coming out. It can't just because he was overweight.
There's more to it.
NBA player.
There's more to it. Like I said, they need to build a casino too. That's something that you're trying to get passed through. So, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out.
Did you see when the news came down, the next day you had people at American Airlines Center like protesting.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody brought a casket in.
Yep.
I mean, they actually paid $3,000 for this casket and brought it in for Luka. But then as I'm sitting there watching and looking at the casket, I'm like, y'all know he big. You need a bigger casket than that.
Hey, they brought a casket for you, doggone it. That casket was about this small. This ain't Super Dave. It's Luka, man.
What's that movie with Jaws where he said you're gonna need a bigger ship? I was saying, you're gonna need a bigger casket on me.
Yes, sir.
That's a big, but I think for the Mavericks, short term, if you're able to get a couple of NBA Finals championships, you can change people's mind because people will jump on board when you start winning.
You just get one. If you get one with AD,
if you get
all this will be gone.
You get one is great.
Yeah.
But I'm saying even two, you can shut people up because on the other side, you know who's coming maybe 3 or 4 years down the line, which will be Luka, because they're building a team to put around him. And this is a big statement for LeBron James too. They're also saying, LeBron, we know it's the end of your career. They always bring in a generational player. They did it with Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe was part of their group already. But you did it with Shaq. They did it with Kareem.
Mm-hmm.
They brought all these guys to be generational players for the Lakers. So now you got Luka, who could be that generational player down the line. I don't think we'll see them win the NBA titles this year or even next year. You got to put pieces around him, and you got to have a team that can play defense.
Yeah,
who plays defense for that team now?
Yeah, they're one big player away. They still need a
big man
in the paint. Yep, they need a big man. So, you know, until they get that, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Don't get me wrong. They're gonna contend, but I can't wait for the Lakers to play the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas. I think that's happening.
I can't wait for that. But again, this is, if anything, they help Luka because now they put him with a guy like LeBron James who take care of him. He take care of his body.
Yep.
If he looks at LeBron James as a role model,
which he does,
they could get him to listen to him here in Dallas. I mean, that's what we've heard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we heard about from the Dallas side. But with the Lakers now, with LeBron James, maybe he'll take working out seriously.
He will. But you're about to get a chiseled version of Luka over the next year. You're gonna see his body. I guarantee you, LeBron is already saying, "Hey, all right, let's go." It's gonna happen.
How chiseled do you have to be? Because the Joker, them European players they don't really get chiseled. Look at the Joker.
But the Joker lost weight though. He ain't cut, but he lost a lot of weight. He finally committed to a good diet, nutrition. He started working out. He ain't cut now, but he lost about 30 or 40 pounds.
Oh yeah, I mean he lost some weight. But I'm saying even when you look at him now, you're not going a dominant player in the NBA, which he is.
Right. Oh, he top 3.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
so we'll see, man. I
mean, we'll wait and see. The other big trade that happened, your boy finally got out of Miami.
Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah,
and
he signed an extension with the Golden State Warriors, so now he's with Steph and Draymond.
He looked good, dog. He looked like himself. He looked like himself. He revitalized. Are they going to win a championship with that squad? I don't think so, but they can shake it up a little bit. They can shake it up a little bit.
Can they keep them happy?
I think they will.
Because we've seen this too many times with Jimmy with when he was in Minnesota and with the Miami Heat. Now I'm pretty sure he wanted more money with the Miami Heat.
He had to stop in Chicago too, did he? With the Bulls?
He had to stop in Chicago. Yeah, he had to stop in Chicago. He played with Derrick Rose at the time. Yeah. But I think his troubles started with Minnesota and with Miami.
Yeah.
So we've seen this story happen twice.
Well, it's kind of like Kyrie. You know, we don't know all the details on what's happening in these locker rooms because we thought Kyrie was going to be a cancer to no matter what team he was on. And now look what's happening in Dallas. Like Dallas love him. The players love him. Like the organization loves him. Even the fans, like they fell in, you know, he's no longer that villain that he became when he went to Brooklyn. And coming out of Boston and all that. So
they still hate him in Boston. They still hate Kyrie in Boston. They still hate him.
What I'm saying is he you know, the picture got painted that he's a troublemaker, he's a cancer in the locker room, blah, blah, blah. And obviously he's not. So hey, I think Jimmy respects Steph Curry too much and Steve Kerr too much to be able to come in there and disrupt and cause some problems and some issues or whatever. So I think he'll be all right over there. But once again, I don't still think they have enough to win a title, but they'll shake it up a little bit.
Well, you know who else they wanted before they got Jimmy Buckets? They wanted Kevin Durant. And you heard that Kevin Durant was Steph Curry made a call as Kevin Durant trying to get him over there. Durant didn't want to play. He said it's the wrong time right now. I can't do it right now. So Phoenix is trying to get rid of Kevin Durant.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought Kevin Durant considered wanting to go. And Golden State said, "No, we're good."
No. It was Kevin Durant.
Okay, all right.
He didn't want to be a part of it, which that's when you had your success. I mean, you had your success in Oklahoma.
And he's on record by saying if he can make that the choice all over again, he would have stayed in Golden State. He said that. He's come out and said that before. You had an opportunity to go back. Shoo. So yes, that's interesting.
That's who they wanted. But again, Phoenix wants to get rid of him. I mean, where would Kevin Durant go eventually? Because he gets mad at this. He's not a leader. We can sit up here and talk about it. He's not a leader.
You know where he will. You know what? I know this may not make sense, and this is kind of random. No, Dallas. put Kevin Durant in Dallas. put him in Dallas. Like, come on, man. Because now you can really, if they can find a way, which is probably not going to happen, but if they can find a way to get him to Dallas, all the pressure and heat won't be on AD now. Now AD can just literally be the third wheel, even though will be, still 1-2. But he don't have to do everything. He don't have to have all this weight on his shoulders. You got Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and AD.
See Kyrie and Kevin Durant again. We saw it in Brooklyn.
I think it'll be different this time. Keep in mind that Brooklyn version of Kyrie was not what's right now. And you got the culture. The culture is different. The Brooklyn culture is completely different than the Dallas Maverick culture. Listen, one thing, even though he's not majority owner no more, one thing that Mark Cuban has done is he's established a culture in Mavericks land that no matter who comes through the door as a coach, as an executive, as a player, you're going to honor this culture. And if you're not, bye-bye. And maybe that's a part of the Luka situation. Like, hey, man, we love you, Luka. And we want to give you the world. But if whatever happened behind closed doors, obviously it was something more than just
telling
weight.
you, it had to be something other than him being overweight. I'm just telling you, because you gave him away. Yeah. I mean, look what I'm trying to think what trade was that. Somebody made a trade. And you saw the pick. Well, just look at Rudy Gobert just a year ago. Remember that?
Yeah.
What Minnesota gave up to get him.
Yep.
And we were going for Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, that's Rudy.
Rudy's not a generation player.
Nah, he's great at what he does, but he's not a generational player.
He's not a generational player.
He's not even a superstar.
He's not an offensive player. He's a defensive guy.
He's another Patrick Beverly, but taller. He's an amazing role player. Exactly.
Yeah, teams can take him out of position and make him be a cancer for that opposing team. That can be the problem. I just think you gave him away. That's the only part I don't like about the Luka deal. I like that they made the trade and got AD. If you want to win now, it's about winning now. You can win championship if AD is healthy. If not, then you're going to be in trouble. But now again, where's AD at? He's in street clothes.
Well, like I always say, only time will tell, youngster. So let's see how all this pans out. Now that the dust has settled, let's sit back and watch, get the popcorn ready, and see what happens. On that note, it's time to get up out of here, man. Episode number 126. We're going to continue to pray for our homie Griff. Hopefully he can get back with us real soon. Rock Teasy is who I be.
It's your birthday, man.
Say, man, it is what it is. I got to get there and get my little birthday steak on. You know what I'm saying? Me and my wife finna go hit Bob's Steakhouse. That's one of my favorite places to go on my birthday every year, man. And I'm gonna be traveling this week to go watch Harmony and Harvard women's basketball get down this stretch, man. So appreciate it though, man. I appreciate the shout out.
Happy birthday, homie. This your boy Super Dave. I wish Bane was here, but he's not. I wish you showed them the picture. I'm not gonna do that to you. We
ain't even gonna post it on social media, man. But we with you, Griff. We praying for you, bro. You know, he's a comedian, so he gonna probably laugh at all this right here. It is what it is.
But guess what, y'all?
We don't care. Continue to download, subscribe. Hey, all the 5-star reviews y'all been giving us. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. We'll see y'all next time. Deuces!
I hate the homies.